Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I am, as always, Alex, and I'm joined by today's Peps Wrestling. How are you doing, Peps?
So naming me Peps Wrestling is an insult.
All right, all right.
But aside of that, hello everyone. I'm glad to be here. I'm doing fine. How are you, Alex?
Well, my co-host might be retiring, so we ball. That's kind of how we like to put it.
He saw Utami getting injured and said, "I'm out of here,"
Which is crazy.
Fair.
Like this is the best time of my life, really. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we go. But last week, you guys got a miniaturized version of Stardom Quest, but I do have plans for the next 2 weeks, assuming Dylan isn't back by then. But if he is, hallelujah. So I think the No Limit Wrestling will be up soon. So if you want to go to the 5 Star Network YouTube channel, you will get some Dylan goodness if you're missing Dylan. Him, Xavier, and a friend whose name I don't know are reviewing Big Egg. So it's a monumental task, but I'm sure they'll get it done.
Oh, didn't they get like some real life
Yes.
friend of Dylan
Yeah.
to watch this?
I know.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. Must watch. Must watch.
But yeah,
Okay.
let's start with Stardom. They announced today was for the House of Torture Produce show. I know it has a weird name, but I don't remember it. It's Nightmare or something, right? Purge Night.
It's
All right.
a
I was close.
Purge Night
I
of
was close.
Torture. With the gimmick being like that House of Torture,
Yes.
like purging people that they
sick.
hate for various
And they've
reasons.
announced like the day before the show that Saya Kamitani will be wrestling Yujiro Takahashi. So I'm gonna need you to explain this one as the New Japan watcher. Why?
So the basic story, base of the promo of Evo was like, okay, Saya, you are a bad heel. I will show you what a real heel is. So you are facing Yujiro Takahashi. Like aside of the, of course, kayfabe thing, which is like whatever, they just put on Saya because she's Saya, and kind of funny considering they have like sold out the Korakuen. I checked this. They sold it out after like 25 minutes or so. And we're like, okay, how about we put on Kaise Takeshi, who is like the biggest draw in DDT, and Kamitani, like out of nowhere, a few weeks later. They've announced their first ever attendance
so DDT
this year
honestly.
on a random street show, I think. It's weird. I don't know. I'm not questioning it. But yeah, the big part here is kind of that people in New Japan decided, okay, we want to wrestle a female wrestler, which is like not common considering I would say a lot of people in New Japan are kind of against having women on their show. So House of Torture doing like the babyface, the biggest babyface move of all time, and just not only inviting Kamitani on their show, but also having them likely defeat. Maybe it ends in no contest. A male wrestler. Even
Yeah,
if
I
it's
mean,
Yujiro,
I imagine it's part of the
somewhat of a big
expansion
fan
of
for
Saya going
Kamitani.
into the Wrestle Kingdom, where they're gonna make her look like the biggest star women's wrestling has seen in a long time. And if there's any fan base that I would imagine would take to Saya quicker, it would be the House of Torture fan base because they like cool, they like gothic, they like dark, and kind of Kamitani's whole thing. So I guess this is just easing her into the New Japan fandom a little bit.
I think the New Japan fans are also like more conservative, and I feel like House of Torture on the other end might not be that conservative.
Yeah, they seem
considering
cool. I mean, Show. Well, no,
those
not Show.
wrestlers are
Yo was
like
out here
more,
kissing boys,
well,
but
we do
Show. I'm
whatever
sure
we
Show.
want. Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. It's fine. The House of Torture fans, they're with it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the
that'll be
show
fun.
too. Like
I
they were
guess
kissing each other
I don't.
afterwards.
I mean, I only my experience of Yujiro is just Xavier, who thinks he's like the second greatest wrestler to ever live. So I'm gonna assume that Xavier is lying, and that this will be a very interesting pro wrestling match. But God knows if I will ever see it because I'm pretty sure it's a pay per view, and I'm not paying for a New Japan show. It's my wheelhouse.
No, I'm not paying for it either. It has Tomohiro Ishii now, so he's still injured. So I don't know what they're doing there.
Who?
And also Sanada Ishii, he's like injured, and he's like, yeah, I'm
Oh,
resting this show for some reason. I don't know. The
it
show
sure
is
seems like
really
it. They got the
weird.
sauna boy, didn't they? I saw him on it.
Yeah. Like, Takeshi Ueno Akito against Doki Sanada show. In the opener, they have like Dick Togo versus Hip Togo
Okay.
with Milano ringside and Sanada Collection SS, which is like kind of weird if you're German. So there's that.
Okay. Well,
Main event is Shun versus Evil, which should be like bad. So
Gun Skywalker.
yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't even Dragon Gate fans don't seem to like him anymore. So,
No, it's well they turned on Kikuta
all
recently.
right.
Like Dragon Gate fans it is. They're done with him.
Well, that seems like how Dragon Gate fans work. But that's just me from the outside. Um, but yeah, let's get into Stardom. Because they have had 7 tag league shows over the last 11 days. Now, I am not one to watch 7 shows in 11 days. That is not my MO, especially when Marigold is also running. But we're just going to go through and talk about some of the stuff that we liked from these shows. I have made an effort to kind of see some of the cool stuff. I've watched every main event. So I have seen a lot of Tag League, just not all of it. But I am doing my best. So
I watched every single
I don't
match.
know how you do it. I truly don't. But we're going to start with the Korakuen on the 7th. The tag league action here was Konami and Rina beating Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara. E Priestley and Sai Ida beat Azumi and Miyo Masaki. Saki Kashima and Seri beat Rini Yamashita and Suzu Suzuki. Mei Sarah and Yuna Mizumori beat Miku Kanai and Sari. Natsupo and Soriano beat Osita and Tio Tleko. And then in the main event, Natsuko Tora and Roka beat Hina and Rana Yagami. So there was a lot of I actually quite enjoyed, I think, 2 matches from this one. I would say they're probably 2 of my favorite matches of the tournament. I think the main event was great. I think, BMI 2000 can't really do wrong in my eye now. Roka adding a cool German suplex to her arsenal is awesome. And I really, really liked the Mei and Yuna versus Kanai and Sarach. That was probably some of the best stuff involving Sari in Stardom since the Konami stuff, because like she was like, Unimon, I'm gonna beat your ass, and that really brought out a good side of Unimon. So those 2 matches really stood out to me from day one, but they're probably 2 of my favorite ones from the entire tournament as well.
I was kind of surprised that BMI 2000 versus Dad God's Eye team is main evented the show because Hina and Rana in a Korakuen main event below, like there was some. Well, it was not really a stacked lineup from that card with like a big time match, and I guess they wanted to put the tag champs over in the main event of the first night, and I think it worked really well. Raka has great chemistry with all 3 of the sisters, even though she doesn't wrestle much against Rina, but mostly when she is with Rina, I like her. And I feel like her and Hina especially had like some cool interactions there. Especially like Raka currently on this run is like the best she has ever been. And I don't know if you remember this. We are going back to historic X over 2022. Do you remember what one of the big stories or like scoops from certain persons on certain boards was coming out of this show?
No.
It was like, I think it was Sonny saying, yeah, Stardom, Bushiroad wants to really push Hanan and Raka. And everyone was laughing at him because like Raka was like nothing at that point outside of her future run. And now I would say that is like the closest she has been ever to feel like a legit, I wouldn't say star yet, but someone that is very well in the main event spots, and it totally makes sense from a kayfabe perspective. I think her and Tora is like the best possible spot she can have right now. Even though I eventually think she will have her white belt match next year. So thumbs up to her. I think she did well the whole tournament so far, and also her whole tag run. Yeah, the May Unamon vs Kanai Sari match was like by far, for me at least, the best thing we had in this tag league so far, because it had not only the tag league feeling, but also had something personal beyond that with the little Sari and Unamon feud that we had over the course of like 2 matches. Mix that with May Sarah, who's like insane right now. And, well, not only right now, but in general, and Miku Kanai, who has been doing the right steps in the recent months, I would say, ever since she got more shine in the Joshi scene, which didn't really start until beginning this year, I would say. So she has been doing well. They did well together. The rest of the card was fine. How did you personally feel about the semi main? Because I've read people really enjoying it, and others who were like, "Yeah, that's kind of boring."
It was cool. I don't think it needed to be 15 minutes, but it was fun seeing the FWC do the lucha stuff. And Koguma, I think, was almost like a different wrestler, which I think is very impressive.
Yeah,
Like you can barely tell it's her how she does moves aside from the frog splash. You can kind of sense it's you can barely tell it's her. But I think 15 was probably a little bit too long for the gimmick. But it was neat.
yeah. I think it was solid. Maybe a bit, under the expectations considering what the names in the match are, but considering it's like a totally new gimmick and they wrestled a totally different style, I was
Yeah.
fine with it. In general, I thought the show was throughout okay with like one or two
Okay.
highlights.
Yes,
And Megan Bain.
Megbane, who will get a lot of praise later on. On day 2 then of Tag League, we went over to Messe. Hanako and Megan beat Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara. Miku Kanai and Sari beat Rian and Waka Tsukiyama. FWC beat Akira Kuragane and Bozilla. E Priestley and Saida beat Saki Kashima and Suri. Miyu Amasaki and Azumi beat Rin Yamashita and Suzu Suzuki. And our main event of this one was Natsupoi and Suri Ano beating Hina and Rana Yagami. The main event was very, very good. Hina and Rana have really stepped up in this tag league, which is kind of what you need. You need those mid and undercard wrestlers to take their opportunity to make these shows worthwhile. And I thought they did good stuff with Poi and O, who are kind of doing good but not great in this tournament. They know what they have to do and they're going to do that. But I thought Rana and Hina really tried to like drag them up another level.
Yeah, you notice with Sorry Poi that both have locked in more or less official matches for Dream Queendom because I know has like Kamitani
Yeah.
and Natsupoi is either heading towards a singles match against Sorry or it's a tag match
Mm.
or something in between. Maybe both, I don't know. But it's very clear that they're like not winning the tournament, so they are not putting in 100% of the effort and to be 100% at Dream Kingdom, and that's totally fine. But they are filling the role to their best still, even though they give like 80%.
Yeah.
Hina and Rana, cool tag team. I like them a lot. The rest of the card was like whatever to me, personally.
Yeah, I thought the FWC match was quite boring. Like that was something I was looking forward to with
Oh,
them and
yeah.
Bozilla, but it was so nothing.
I don't like nothing on the show felt like it mattered in the grand
Mm.
scheme of things. Like even for the tag league, there was like even like Azumi and Mio versus Rina and Suzu should be like a big match on paper. It went like 7 minutes and was like
Yeah.
okay, maybe. Um, Ram Kaiju was on the show for some reason.
Um,
I don't
they
remember that. I
are
watched it
they are
now.
filling the undercard with kind of random people throughout the
Yeah,
tournament.
it's weird. Maybe the biggest thing out of the show was Ami pinning Konami in the
I
six
would
woman
agree,
tag.
but a few people have pinned Konami, so I'm very unsure of what
Yeah,
the story is.
I've said it. I think Konami and Rian took the same amount of pins in the first 7 shows.
That is absurd, frankly. Like that's just crazy. Oh man, what a
It's
world.
definitely show.
Um, but yeah, that was day 2. Day 3, we were over to Nagano. Akira Kuragane and Bozilla beat Mei Sera and Yuna Mizumori. FWC beat Rian and Waka Tsukiyama. Kina and Rani Agami beat Miku Kanai and Sari. Saki Kashima and Siri beat Azumi and Mio Masaki. And we had big girl wrestling when Hanako and Megan Bain beat Amisori and Lady C in 13.5 minutes. Um, Velke made me think that the main event of this was like the match of the year. He was losing his shit in my DMs over that one. And like I get it. A lot of really fun big girl wrestling. It was a very good match. And I think if it wasn't for some of the later efforts, this would probably be 3 of the tournament. But as it is, it's kind of like just outside. But yeah, it was great to see Megan Bayne mixing it up with like Lady C and the current version of Ami Sourei. I thought they did good stuff.
Yeah, I thought in general the show was a clear step up from day two. The main event was really good. I think just I don't know where it would rank, maybe fourth or fifth, but I don't have a list right now, to be honest. I will do that at the end of the tournament because we have like 25 more dates till
I think
then.
you're
I
far
think it's
off.
like
Yeah, I think there's like
it
8
feels
shows
like
in 10 days
25.
or something.
It's like 8 or so. Yeah. No, the main event was great. I feel like Hanako we don't give her too much praise because her singles work, in my opinion, hasn't been that good, but her tag work has been getting a lot better over the year. If I compare that to her run
Night and
last year
day.
with Micah in the tag
Yeah.
league, I feel like her and Megan cleared that already on the average scale. Maybe there was like I don't know the final
I
of the
think the
two
semifinal maybe last
last year
year.
was like
I
better
remember there
than
was
the
one
matches they
really
had
good
so far,
match where
but
they
like a
all put
final.
in every effort to make Hanako look good. And was on.
Yeah, against FWC. There was a bad one against FWC though, so I'm not counting the
Yeah,
good one.
I don't know. I can't
You
remember.
pulled
I
it
just know
out.
there was one match where everybody went out there to make Hanako look good, and it worked.
Yeah. So I thought the main event was great. Ami and C are like
Yeah,
such a good tag team, and I'm just quite sad that they haven't been getting that backing yet that I would hope they would get, considering like Ami is like in and out on big feuds and just loses and then does something and lose again. So they're sad. Maybe they're having a big comeback because it's the tag league and we have a comeback there every year. Speaking of comebacks, Azumi and Miyu losing like a second important tiebreaker to Kashima and Sherry was kind of surprising to me. But I just expect they will get the Vingori run. So they will just lose. They will just win out the block, go through with like 8 points, and then just beat Saki Shuri again in the quarters, and then whoever they face in the semis. Likely Meg and Hanako. I don't know. We'll come to that. Saki Shuri are a fun team. I feel like they have been less interesting this year than they have been before. Maybe it's just because it's a lot of shows. But normally they're like a tag team in the tag league. Even if they aren't performing on a in-ring level, they just stand out in a different way. This time they just wrestle
right.
good, which is not a bad thing, but it's like not a usual thing for this team. I liked to go down the card. I thought outside of the FWC versus Rian and Waka match, everything was like at least worth checking out. Hinarana versus Miku and Seri was good. And the opener with Meisaru Yunaman against Bozilla and Akira was like the only good Miwida Loka match in this tournament from that team. Oh wait, no, they're
Oh
facing
yeah,
Seri
that
later.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. One of two. Yeah, one of two. Um, I like that match. I think Bozilla and Akira work well together. Even though, do you get why they are doing this weird? I don't want to team with you,
I think this
but
is
you need
Ozilla.
to earn my respect
Yeah,
thing.
I think
Is
this
it
is her
like just
nature.
Bozilla doing Bozilla
She
stuff?
did a lot in Marigold, and everybody's kind of ignored it.
Okay.
So I figured we would just do the same this time.
Okay, we can just ignore it. I like that.
Okay. On to day 4. We headed over to Sendai, the beautiful Sendai pit. Natsupoi and Soriano beat Mei Sera and Yuna Mizumori. Natsuko Tora and Rocca beat Miku Kanai and Sari. Saki and Suri, Konami and Rina. Amisori and Lady C main evented by beating B Priestley and Saya Ida. This was kind of up and down because I quite liked the Siori Poi versus Unimon and May match. The BMI one
Mhm.
felt very phoned in, even from Sari. It was just kind of there. And then the main event had some really good stuff with Saida, who was just on beast mode, as usual.
Yeah, that Ida Bree Priestley team works much better than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, Dylan was right. B Priestley, at the very least, always works hard. Like I feel like she is always 90% at minimum.
Yeah, it's not like with her that she doesn't want to. She just sometimes can't, which sounds mean, but it's kind of the truth. Even though I think if we have said when she originally came back for the GP that her run right now is that exactly what we are getting right now, I think a lot of fans would have been really happy because we expected the
Yeah.
worst. And in her WWE run, she was not good. And her run before, I would
Yeah.
say she was overpushed. But even by the end, she was like, okay. But I think that is like straight up from the performances, maybe one of the more consistent runs she has had in her career. So good for her. I feel like she just needs the more the more highs that she has right now because I don't think she has had many highs. Just
Yeah.
throughout solid, good work stuff, and that counts into that. I mean, see, good team. Ida is just insane. I hope they are doing something with her if they are really doing the Konami Hanan match at Dream Kingdom. Doesn't need to be a white belt shot, but just some kind of angle with her because I feel like she has been somewhat included more into storytelling over this year than ever before. Even though she was always the second behind Hanan in the tag tournament, like in the tag tournament last year and the tag title run this year. This time it feels like she's really the focal point of stars because there's like no one else there, to be fair. So I hope they will do something with her Konami, but doesn't matter too much.
I don't get my hopes up.
No. My hope is they're just beating the hell out of her at a Kurek and Hanan comes back. That's like the realistic standpoint.
Yeah, probably.
Rest of the show was fine. I liked the Saki Shirei versus Rina Konami match. I think the new sisters work solid enough as a team. It helps that we don't have too many hate teams, but also it makes the stick stand out way more in a good and a bad way. I don't know. I feel like it was fine here. It was bad in another match. That will come
Yeah,
later.
the latest stuff is very
Yeah.
paint by numbers. It's like Darkness Revolution levels.
Yeah. Otherwise it was fine. The undercard is like very weird on these shows. I don't know what I'm watching this. Saya just
Yeah.
randomly loses a freeway and something like that. Mobile
Oh, yeah.
CoCo does
What?
just
You
stuff.
won a match involving Saya Kamitani. That's funny. All right. Well, we got on to day 5, which was in Aomori. Mai Sakurai and Sayaka Kurara, they got a win via forfeit over Rini Yamashita and Suzu Suzuki because Suzu is once again absent. Miku Kanai and Sari beat Akira Kurgane and Bozilla. Konami and Rina beat Azumi and Miyo Masaki. And then Mei Sara and Yuna Mizumori beat Rian and Waka Tsukiyama. So we got a Rian main event, and we got Sari Bozilla goodness. That Sari Bozilla stuff in the tag was awesome. Definitely one of the high recommendations from this tournament. Like they were just going crazy, and then Akira would come in with Miku, and they had like some really good exchanges too. So I think that's one tag worth going out of your way to see. And the main event was fun. I think this was probably the best match for somebody like Rian to kind of show out because she is a little bit faster paced and does some kind of high speed influenced stuff. So getting her in there, kind of two of the high speed wrestlers, really let her show what she can do. But never again do we need a 14.5 minute Waka Skiyama tag. That's kind of all I would
No,
say.
I mean even for Rion's hometown, it was like way
Yeah,
too long. They easily could have just done it at 12 or something. But I think it's the third longest match of the tournament. After the draw that we have on one of the Sapporo shows, I believe, and Sauripoi versus FWC. And then it's this one. And I don't get it because they don't need it, and I don't think Rian or Waka have like the moves or interesting character
yeah,
development inside the match to like fill the time. It was cool for Rian to have the hometown main event, but it was like okay, a bit too long. Outside of that, I thought this show was good. Konami, like, I can say the exact same thing about every O2 line, Shirikashima and Konami Rina match. It was like all good,
yeah,
nothing more, nothing less. Seri Buzilla, you just notice with both Seri and Buzilla that they care about each other and actually like wrestle each other. It feels like it points at more Buzilla just doesn't like wrestle certain people.
Yeah.
I noticed that in a New Blood match
yeah.
that she had, I believe it was, where she just no-sold Stones for like
I
50
hated that
minutes or
one.
so,
Yeah.
for just defeating, and that was like terrible. Here she actually like her and Sri just killed each other, and it was cool. So I'm happy with that. One of the things I enjoyed, it's random, right? But Rina Yamashita on this tour, once Suzu was off, has gotten really fun because she was doing like her own thing, just teaming with the young, with Hanako here, and I think with someone else on
Honoka.
the other shows. Yeah, Honoka, and just was chilling with the young girls and just doing her stuff, and then cutting a promo and everything after that. That was cool. So shout out
She's
to Rina
awesome.
Yamashita.
We catch up then to day 6. B Priestley and Saida got a win via forfeit over Yamashita and Suzu. Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara beat Ami Soria and Lady C in a bit of an upset. Hina and Rane Agami beat Rian and Waka Tsukiyama. The FWC team wrestled to a time limit draw with Mei Sarah and Yuna Mizumori. And then Hanako and Megan Bain beat Konami and Rina in our main event. Main event was definitely one of the paint by numbers hate performances. Very little of intrigue from them. Just kind of setting up Bane killing Konami. That was kind.
I think the main event was like the only match so far where I would say it was just booked really badly.
Yeah.
From the match itself, but also the result. Like I can get Konami getting pinned by Ida or by Ami, but by Megan,
Yeah.
really? There's like the one person she can't get her win back. She will definitely get her win back against Ida and Ami, even if it's just on a random tag.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But against Megan Bain is not getting pinned in this tag league.
No.
She's out there winning the goddamn blood and guts match for her team. She's not losing in the starter match. So that was kind of silly. I thought this was like maybe the weakest main event.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that even the next one had a little bit more fun to it.
Yeah. It was just nothing to me personally. The time limit draw below, I thought it just dragged at points. The issue just is with time limit draws, right? At some points you just see them far away, and once you notice, okay, they are heading towards the 11th minute, and Hazuki is still in there, and Meisera is in there, you just notice, okay, they're just not pinning each other. Then just dragged and dragged on, and it felt like until like the 13th minute, and I would kind of blame FWC for that. Not because FWC had a bad performance, but I just feel like their new style hasn't been laid out well enough yet for some kind of match like here, where they just can't really fill the time. It just felt weird to me, and it just felt like, okay, they're just doing it to get to the time of draw. Hina and Rana versus Rian Waka, I just found out after the match backstage, it was like, for Rana, it was like a big thing because she finally got a win over Waka Tsukiyama. It was like, what?
Wow.
I didn't even know that like Waka even pinned Rana once. I was like, okay, cool.
No, Waka is kind
Good
of
for
the
her.
ace of New Blood, so they're all chasing the Waka.
Do you want to know when Waka what? Okay, take a guess. Like when was the last time Waka defeated like Rana in a tag match? Like how many shows ago?
5?
We are going back to October 14th,
Oh, that's more than
2024.
5.
Jeez.
Surely they would have had a New
So
Blood
there's that.
match or something, I thought, but guess
No, they have nothing. It's just God's Eye beating Inexus because
not. Oh, yeah.
Micro's not there, so
I forgot
just
EXP were
losing
in the
everything.
doghouse for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. The upset in the opener was cool.
Yeah.
Kurara and Aya deserved that win. I wished kind of that was the first win because it was definitely scheduled to be the first win if it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
for Rina and Suzu forfeiting. would have made it feel a bit bigger. But yeah, I liked it one. I think Ami and C are like consistently one of the
Wow. Okay.
best teams in the
Well,
tournament so far.
I think they've earned it for sure. They definitely should win. So
Yeah, but it's also because some of the bigger teams are
that is
just
true.
disappointing to me.
But we catch up then fully with day 7. This is a doubleheader in Sapporo. This was the second day. Meiser and Yuna Mizumori opened the show, beating Ahina and Rani Agami. We had Natsuko Tora and Ruaka beat Rian and Waka Tsukiyama. Hanako and Megan Bain beat B. Priestley and Sai Ida. And then in our main event, Konami and Rina beat Amisore and Lady C. The Hanako and Bain versus Stars match is one of my favorites of the tournament. B and Bane did just some really good, like trying to chop down the monster stuff. Like this was really, really good from B, and just really smart pro wrestling. And then they would get Ida in there, just trying to like beat everybody like a drum. And they, because they're big bastards, they were just like, you're not gonna beat us. So it was just really fun to see kind of the mix between Ida trying to power wrestle with the other two, and then B coming in and just doing this like really smart, really fundamental chopping down of Bane. It was a good mix of stuff, and I almost didn't even know it went like just under 15 minutes. Like I legitimately didn't know it was that long.
No, and I think that is one of the biggest praise you can give those people because it was like middle of the card, well, semi-main, and they just killed it. In my opinion, it was great, like legitimately just great, and it
Yeah.
felt like a match where Hanako earned the win by the end. Well,
Mm-hmm.
of course, it has something to do with the fact that Hanako lost to Ida in a tag league final last year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So them getting back to that, even though it was kind of like not an important match in the sense of the tag league itself, but it still felt like a moment. Okay, Hanako has grown over the year in terms of like kayfabe, and that is something you can give her, and I think she has done it well. Mag is just insane. We need
Yeah.
to talk about this. The sketch is insane.
Which hers?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I don't know how she's doing it. Although in fairness, I feel Blood and Guts is a lot of like
Yeah, but she's back again in
yeah,
America. She's wrestling
that's
today
fair.
in
But that's
AEW.
gonna be like a 5-minute tag match. So I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel
Yeah.
the thing with like Blood and Guts and stuff like that is they're probably bumping less, and it's just like a visual thing. So it's probably didn't even register to do Blood and Guts. Like she led and played it,
No,
but
the flights
yeah, the
are
flight's are the
more or
big
less the
problem. But
ones
I
that I
don't think
would
you really
like to
take as
see.
many bumps in like a Blood and Guts unless you're one of the people diving off the cage, like that kind of stuff.
Well, she's
Yeah, that
Megan,
too.
to be fair.
She doesn't bump.
Like, she doesn't bump. She doesn't even
Yeah,
bump in Stardom that much. Even though she makes him look good, she doesn't bump that much, and I don't feel she bumps much in Stardom. So yeah, but she
she's
looks
great.
great out there. I missed her. She. It feels like I don't know. It's a wrestler, so I'm not taking everything by word. But with her, you let you feel like she really missed it to
Yeah,
be
well, I
there.
think she kind of understands that she is an attraction in Japan. Like they love their big bastard foreigners, and she is one, and she's a very good one. And she's also got cachet with the audience because of the Julia stuff. I think everybody loved the Julia matches, and then like they had one at Sumo Hall, I think. So like, she's a name here, and I think she knows that the fans are like really into her. And I mean, if I was a wrestler, I think I'd like that. I would just really be into feeling like a big deal, you know?
Yeah, and also, of course, she was paired with Micah before, who at that time was like the hottest thing in the company.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Divine Kingdom stuff, yeah.
That was like middle of the road towards Micah's moment against Sisu, like
Yeah,
months before that.
that's
So
crazy. Um yeah, I mean, she's awesome. And yeah, the main event, again, Konami Arena, paint by the numbers, but Ami Sourei and Lady C kind of saved it. I think it was one of those Lady C performances where she was like, I'm gonna show off what I can do, which is great because Lady C is a very talented wrestler, and Tag League is probably one of the few times where she's gonna get to show that. So, a match like this where she just gets to do her thing is always fun.
absolutely, yeah, I like that more than the one before. I thought
Yeah.
Konami and Rina, like I don't feel like they feel important in this tournament, kind of, which is weird. But also they do. I don't know. The whole mid card thing in the Blue Stars block is really weird. How did you feel about the return of Natsu Sumire in the second match on the show?
You know, I think Natsu is made for a full-time promotion, but at this point, I think she's kind of lost the comedic edge a little bit.
Well,
So
it's the same thing for like the past 5 years now.
yeah, I mean, I think it is worse in like Seedling because they have 5 match cards and you need to sell me on every match. Whereas like Stardom, they're gonna run 100 matches, every month. You can have some Natsu comedy, so like it fits better with a company that is running full time. But I think I'm still just annoyed by her Seedling presence because why is she tag champion?
Yeah, that's legit mind-boggling. It makes no sense, and the next champs likely are somewhat better, but also not. So, just that.
Yeah, that's poor Seedling.
It's Honori and Unagi. So
Yeah, I mean Honori is awesome, but
yeah, but it's one half
yeah, I mean I don't
of the
hate
two.
Unagi, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, but I don't care
Ah,
about
yeah,
her.
but you kind of have to.
Well, not anymore. I don't think anyone cares about her. To be,
Well, yeah, that's true. She didn't seem like a big draw
you
in
can just give the
NL.
belt back to Makoto Nagisa.
Maybe I don't know. Does Makoto still get booked there? I
Yeah,
can't really remember.
they
Yeah.
faced Itsuki and I think Yuri on the last show in
Oh,
Shinkiba first ring.
that sounds pretty nice. I won't lie. Um, well, that's all of our catch up for Tag League. I don't think there's any point in trying to preview the next week because there's like it's just 2 house shows as far as I can tell. Yeah, Koriyama, Fukushima, and then Myojin Hall in Kanda. Which
Yeah,
I didn't know, so
definitely.
I really don't see a point in trying to preview anything. But Stardom is happening.
What's your thoughts on Rhythm leaving JTO?
You did?
She's leaving on
Oh,
January
I had no
1st,
idea. Is that news
apparently.
today?
No, I just found
Oh,
out as
yeah.
well. Yeah, it just came in.
I'm sure somebody will sign her. She exists, I guess.
Speaking of people who would sign her, I have the feeling. I have a feeling. If in doubt, Rossi does it.
No, please don't. Um,
He's tagged him right now. I don't know what she would
I
leave.
don't know. Isn't everybody just getting a turn as tag champ?
That's also true.
Yeah.
And everyone is leaving,
So
so.
there's there's some kind of fun bits happening with Stardom wrestlers outside of Stardom over the next week. So we don't usually touch on this, but heck, we might as well because we're not going to preview Tag League. So um, on the 22nd, Jungle Kiona is wrestling Saya Ida in an exhibition match. Now I don't know if this is going to air or if they've announced any sort of way to air, but that is going to be, I'm sure, a fun little match, and it's a real throwback to kind of yesteryear of Stardom with Team Jan. And if anybody's going to get a good match out of Kiona, who maybe is healthy to wrestle, it would be Saida.
Yeah, I mean, we are talking about, well, one of her Ida's old first mentors in the company, together with
Yeah.
Tora. Was Tora still? Yeah, Tora was still young at that point. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
keep
yeah.
complaining
She
about.
was.
So that's like cool thing for Ida. I think Ida's style just fits together with, well, it kind of fits because she was also like one of the. She was really a student of Nanae, Ida that is, but she was kind of like
Mhm.
somewhat around Nanae in her last Stardom run. And I feel like both of them have like the strength to fill a match, especially considering it's like exhibition. Even though I think they will
Yeah.
say it will be an official match, I'm expecting they will change it. Ida can just with his chops and strikes and everything can just make this match look good. I don't think Kiona
Yeah.
will be in any kind of shape to wrestle a full-time schedule ever again, and I don't think that should be the goal, and I don't think she should be doing that.
No.
Realistically, but if she can go out there, like, I don't know, 5 times a year, have a cool little freestyle match, I would be fine with that.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose it would depend on where it is and like what she's doing. Um, but she seems to be leaning towards Stardom currently. So
I
I don't
don't
know.
know. I have no clue. Maybe Ross is just not giving her the chance because she knows he knows, and he doesn't want to be responsible. Meanwhile,
Uh,
Stardom is
I
there.
don't think Rossi is is that smart, considering the Shozuki incident.
Yeah, but also Taro Kana signed Fuad, so we forgot about that.
Yeah, but she might be like a draw. Yeah, she might actually sell tickets. So
We forgot about that, to be fair, to talk.
well, I did it last week.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I did a 10-minute thing on it. So um let's see. Elsewhere, Stardom Master Saida is a very busy woman because on Unagi Sayaka's produce show on tomorrow, she is teaming with Kohaku to take on Yurika Oka and Tonori Hana. So there's a good pairing in there, which is the there's two good pairings.
Not
Yeah,
the
no, there's
one.
two good pairings. Ida and Oka, and I think Hanori Hana and Saida could do some really great stuff. Kohaku, I'm not super into lately. I think she's kind of hit a plateau. So, I mean, I'm sure she will be good, but she isn't the most exciting part of this. The most exciting part is Ida getting to mix it up with Honori Hana.
Yeah, Kohaku has been really weird. She was on top of Wave, then lost the belt, and her
Oh,
performance.
I forgot. Yeah, she lost to Regina already.
Yeah, she lost it to Itsuki Aoki, who's like
That's kind of cool.
a career mid-carder so far.
All right, chill out.
No, it's like her first singles title, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Mm,
That's okay.
no, I apologize. She won the freeway belt from Oz Academy.
Oh, yeah,
Pioneer
the
one.
Pioneer one. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I think they do sometimes too.
Who is the champion, Pioneer champion right now? Sonoko Kato. Okay.
Really? Isn't she retiring?
Yeah, she won it from Kakeru in a
Right.
freeway on the last Okinawa show. The match went 25
Oh, dear
minutes.
Lord.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Well,
With Akino in there. Um,
gets tough out there sometimes.
um, yeah, I don't know. I think the match will be good. I'm unsure if I will watch that because Unagi shows are like mostly 1 or 2 match
Yeah.
shows, and then the comedy elements in it are not for me personally.
I don't even know the rest of the card. I won't lie to you. It's
But
gone very under the radar, apart from this one tag.
Oh, good lord. I think it has something with it's her and Miyazaki in the
Oh,
main event, I believe.
singles?
She no, it's Kato. She's wrestling all of the
Oh, is
names
it
who's
it's the
retiring.
show with
So
the
she's wrestling
thing?
Kato, Tae,
Right.
Yu, um,
I
Risera,
remember now.
and whatever.
I
It's
remember the
let me
advertisement for it.
check. I will find it. Uh, it's Miyazaki.
Okay.
This time. Which should be an okay main event, I
Yeah.
guess. They also have this weird Unagi anti-Unagi stable angle in there,
Oh.
and I don't know. And Jun Kasai is teaming with Ayame Sasumura against Aniki and Kaho, which is also like Kobayashi. That is also like
Hmm.
very weird, super weird card.
That's,
The match we point out is like the good one. I think
yeah.
I will like to watch it because someone will praise it on anime.
um, kind of the most fun stuff I would say Stardom is involved in on Saturday, November 22nd on Sendai Girls. Suri Ano is teaming with Ryo Mizunami to take on Mikita and Miyuki Takase. Eternal Rivals are going to do it again for Iwata's 10th anniversary, so that should be fun. And then FWC are challenging Chihiro Hashimoto and Yu for the Sendai Girls tag team title, which genuinely might be a title change because Yu is retiring next month. They're very limited on time to take these belts off of 200 kg.
You are correct, but weren't there like 2 or 3 Joshis? No, like weren't there like 2 Joshis in the past year that just retired as champions?
Um,
Didn't Tai Honma just retire as tag champions in Wave?
probably yes.
I think they should do the titles change here. FWC is like an easy champion to have the belt on, and they can just put over, because I don't think Taro, even today, cares who pins Koguma.
No.
So I would just do the titles change in their hometown in Fukuoka. That just makes a lot of sense in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would do it. Why not?
I mean, what's to lose, really? But Sendai often doesn't work like that, so who the hell knows? Well,
the thing is, I don't know how often we have said in the past 4 years or so, oh yeah, you and Hashimoto just losing tag belts and you just won it, or dropped it and won it back like a month later. So
see, the only thing that would stop is that Yu is facing Hashimoto in that retirement, so they probably want to be free of the tag situation by then. So I don't know. I think it just makes it easier if they aren't champs. But see, that is all I think for Stardom. 50 minutes on Tag League, not too bad.
You missed
I
Goki
honestly
and Pro
didn't
Wrestling.
even look. I saw Gokigen and was like, all right, we're not.
Yeah, I think it's
actually, I
Mashiro
in
against
and was like,
Rana.
okay, that's all. That's just a new blood match. Like, so
No.
have fun, I guess. But yeah, that's all for Stardom. Now we got to jump over to Marigold. Don't think there's any news from Marigold. They don't really do news much anymore. But
Outside of the announced cards?
yeah, that's kind of all.
No, there's nothing.
Okay, so they were relatively active. They had 3 shows this past week. The first was in Shinjuku FACE. This drew 315 fans, which is fine. Not great, not bad. We opened with Hummingbird beating Megaton in 7.5 minutes. Megaton, still funny.
She does her thing. It works out. It's definitely not, we watch way too much Joshi, to be fair.
Yes.
For this to always work out. But I feel like if you are watching only the Korakuen or face shows of Marigold, that should work. It was fine.
Yeah.
Good one for Hummingbird to build her up. It isn't like she lost on a Korakuen.
Nagisa Nozaki beat Arina Yamanaka, Komomo Manami, and Nao Ishikawa in 8 minutes. Komomo made her surprise comeback from injury to interfere in this one and join the fray. And then we had a completely fine, uneventful 8-minute match.
This was so stupid.
Yeah, kinda.
She made her return and just lost.
Yeah, she was doing the trip up flash pin thing. Everybody kicked out, and it was like, oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Chiaki and Misa Matsui beat Minami Yuki and Nagisa Tachibana in 9.5 minutes. It was fine.
Yeah, I will have my take on Minami and Nagisa later. I think that's a much better outing.
Okay.
Different
Chika Goto and Nightshade beat Kazuna Tanaka and Miku Aono in just under 15 minutes. This was a nice match. I quite like Nightshade. I kind of like what she brings to the table, and her and Goto kind of working on top was interesting. It let Miku Aono kind of be the hot tag, and then Kazuna just got beaten. So it served its purpose. Good enough match.
It was a bit too long, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, 15
like 15 is insane, considering
Kazuna.
Like, not only Kazuna, but also I don't think Chika is like I like Go Chika, but I don't think she's like that consistent in tags so far.
She's not a stamina monster
with random partners. Yes. So I don't know. It was a bit too long.
That's fair. Mayu and Syoko Kushino beat Seri Yamaoka and Yuka Yamazaki in just under 11 minutes. Syoko got the win for the team over Yamazaki. I continue to be astounded by Syoko's positioning. I don't fully know what the end goal is because she is like 37. She's not great, but she's definitely a good singer. And she's tallish and she's kind of pretty. So it's like Rossi probably wants to push her. She's unbeaten to this point since unmasking, and she won a match that also involved Mayu Iwatani. And I'm just like, where do we go? Like, is she?
The thing about this is, right? You mentioned this. She's tall. She can't even challenge for Mayu's belt.
Like, is she gonna do a UN? Is she like going to challenge Yuzuki? Is this where we are? Is she the Unagi now? Like, because I compare her to Inagi because she was kind of forced into big spots until she was ready. Is he going to do that with Syoko? I don't know. Amused, but intrigued.
It's definitely interesting. I feel like it will be a situation where Rossi is going to be really high on her. Then she has one big match. That match sucks, and she will never do anything relevant again.
I don't think you realize how stubborn
Yes,
can be.
but I also have seen like I feel like 3 or 4 pushes Marigold has worked out that well, like that.
Kind of. But in fairness,
remember the early Nao
her closest
Ishikawa
comp is
push?
kind of.
Somewhat push. I'm sorry.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, the Koki is the closest comp, and Koki is only
Yeah, but she
stopped
never
because she's
gave up on
injured.
Kobe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like so he might never give up on Syoko either. We'll see. I'm definitely intrigued. I won't lie. That match was not anything to write home about either. Mayu did fuck all. You know, it was just there. We then main evented with the United National Championship. Victoria Yuzuki beat Rea Seto in just under 18 minutes. Their GP match was better, but this was good. Like, I think it was a pretty good outing from Rea Seto. They gave her all the room in the world to kind of be the wrestler that she wants to be. I thought her working over the leg was quite strong. I think that recent mean streak she's shown really made this match a lot better. And then Yuzuki just kind of did the comeback and won. Yuzuki, I didn't really have much to say about her. Rhea really kind of was the focal point of the match, and I thought she did a good job.
I don't think, and that is my main issue with the match, it didn't have the intensity of the first match in the GP. And I
Yeah.
don't know why. Maybe the outside brawl just was the issue, or they just wanted to do something completely different in the first match, which I can understand. I still like the approach. I think a legwork match with 2 wrestlers who are like an average age of like, I don't know, 22 or something. I think Yuzuki's 20 and Ria is like 23, 24, with like both having 2 years of experience. Having a competent legwork match might be more impressive, even though it wasn't as good as the intense one. Still, I feel like they have left something on the table, and they have a step further they can go.
Yeah.
And it's clear that Rossi sees something in Rhea. He obviously wants to present her as some kind of rival to Yuzuki, and in some form also to the other young wrestlers, because young Marigold, whatever. I'm unsure if she will have enough chances to get there. Of 11 on Keanu, because we
Yeah.
are talking about like Yuzuki is an obvious red belt champion, Seri is an obvious red belt champion. Shino is going to hold the white belt for like 5,000 days when she's 18. Well, she will definitely be above Kazuna.
Hope so. Well, we hope. Yeah.
But she has something to her that the others don't have so far with the legwork, and I think that will work out well for her. I would hope that it will just put her with Nozaki sooner or later and have some kind of tag run if she isn't competing in the singles division. Maybe Mayu asked for a match against her. Like, that is like her only hope now after the Yuzuki match
Yeah.
to get some shine, because she now.
I would hope Mayu loses it before then, though.
I think Mayu vacates.
Oh dear lord.
I think Mayu just vacates.
I don't know. If she vacates, I'm gonna bury some shit. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. People have been really nice about Mayu and that Superfly belt, but ooh, they would feel the wrath. I don't know, but
That
I
sounds
mean
necrotic.
Rhea. Yes. I don't know. Rhea is cool. I do think she wouldn't really fit with the Superfly stuff, but maybe she could do like, you know how the X division used to have always those storylines where somebody would win it and be like, I'm not wrestling the way you guys wrestle. And she could be like, if you're challenging for the Superfly, it's a submission match or something. Like, I think
I
that would
mean,
be fun.
it's not like the high speed belt in Stardom is like always high speed.
Yeah, that's true.
Kashima did a gimmick out of being low
That's
speed.
true, actually. Yeah. I mean, if they wanted to do that with Rhea, I think it would be fun. But, you'd wonder when they're going to do it. And her big opponent is Yuzuki, and Yuzuki is not going to dip back down into the Superfly, so it's kind of iffy there. I don't really know.
Yeah, and Superfly is going to be blocked for a very long time if Mayu doesn't
Yeah.
release it soon, and I don't know when and how,
Well,
and I don't
they
see her getting
it's
pit red.
almost like they had Mio Momono challenge, who could anybody on their day as a former 3AW world champion.
I don't think Mio would
As a
have
former
beaten her.
3AW world champion, as a master of flash pinfalls, Mio Momono probably could have done the job, but I guess she no longer
Yeah,
exists.
but also we like last time Mio interacted with Marigold, she was like
Yeah, that's
easily
true.
defeated by Utami.
Yeah.
So I'm unsure if she would have won the match,
Yeah.
to be honest. I think it was always going to be a setup for what we are getting on January 3rd.
Pain. Life is pain. Let's see. We had the show then in the 176 box on the 15th. I kind of just wrote this off because I assumed it was just everybody going 50% to save themselves for Corkin. And looking at the card, it's quite bad. Like, I thought we were past this with Marigold, but oh my god, this card is not fun. Nao Ishikawa beat Hummingbird in 7 minutes to start in the never-ending feud. Komomo Minami and Shino beat Megaton and Nagisa Tachibana, which is an insane use of two very good and exciting young wrestlers. Arena beat Kizuna, which is fun on paper. I won't lie.
It says a lot about Kizuna.
Yeah.
Like I really like Kizuna more, and I like to joke about her, but that is like actively worrying.
Yeah.
Like now we reach points where like, okay, she came off the win of Shino and just lost to Arena a month later. So
we love it.
okay.
We love the booking in Marigold. Miku Aono and Syoko beat Chika Goto and Yuki Minami. And then in an 8-woman tag, Mayu, Seri, Yuzuki, and Yuka beat Chiaki, Matsui, Nozaki, and Rea. That was a preview tag for the Twin Star title match on Corkin. Yeah, just not a good looking card. I think they really shouldn't do 4-on-4 main events without Mai and Utami around. Because there's a big concentration there of like most of your heavy hitters into one match, and you could really tell for the rest of the card. So
Yeah, the thing always is with the undercard and Marigold that you have always 1 out of 5 like one match out of the 5 is always a comedy match because it's Megaton. Then you have the opener, which is always Now or Hummingbird, one of them. And then you have like 3 matches where you have all your heavy hitters, and you just decided to put everyone except for Aono in the main event.
Interesting choice.
Like,
but
yeah, that was. I have not seen the full show, to be fair. I've only seen the first 4 matches.
Yeah,
you miss nothing. I thought Go Chika and Yuki looked like not good in their match against Shioko and Miku.
Yeah, Syoko is coming around at the wrong time because she is kind of an anchor that they have to work around. And
I think
you
she
probably could have stuck her with Mirai, but now there is no Mirai.
I think she's better than she is as the Penguin, to be fair.
Yes. Yeah.
But her matches are dragging a lot.
Yeah, like, she's just not there quite yet.
There was one, I don't know where it was. Some random house show in the middle of the nowhere where they had this extremely long Rea Seto versus Yuka match. Where she also had like a 17-minute match or so with Chika Goto against Aono and Ishikawa, where they set up the title, well, non-title challenge. That dragged a lot. Now this one here in Osaka as well. I think 10 minutes is like perfect for her. But a while.
We'll get on to the good stuff anyway. This was on the 17th of November. Dream Star Fighting Marigold ran Korakuen Hall. They did 785 fans here. Initially, I was like, that's a poor number. That is down 100 from your last Korakuen. Then I got a reply on Twitter that was like, they did nothing on this show. CoCo has wrestled like 3 times in Tokyo in her career. And Seri and Yuzuki is a random pairing against a team that doesn't draw. And I went, you know what? 800 for that is honestly an achievement. Like if you kind of talked me realizing that doing anything near 800 for this card probably beneficial. Probably good.
The selling points from the storyline perspective, where Chika Goto is a loser and challenges Miku Aono
Yes.
and gets geeked all
Yes.
the time. A 15-year-old challenges Mayu.
Yes.
Nao Ishikawa
Okay, real.
is in a storyline
Yeah,
with
real.
Mai Sakurai.
I
That
probably
is like,
sold.
well, it's, we will come to the match.
I
Awesome.
figuratively bought a ticket. I didn't literally buy one, but I figuratively bought a ticket. So.
And I think the tag title match is fine, to be fair. I think the tag title match could have been.
I think the problem is that it was an odd pairing. Like they're not really a tag team, so they were never going to win. So I think it was hard for people to buy.
Yeah, it's a V1. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not Nanae Seri versus Sanka Iroha, Nanae Seri versus Utami Victoria Yuzuki level.
Yeah, for sure. But let's dive in. We opened with Komomo Manami and Sayoko Kushino beating Hummingbird and Yuki Yamazaki in 8 minutes. Sayoko essentially got her ass beat and then pinned Hummingbird anyway. Like that was it. She was just getting beat and then rolled her up. And Yuka was pissed off. And yeah, it was a match.
Hummingbird, I'm sorry. Maybe we can get a win for you next time when you're challenging for a belt. It's baffling what they do.
That's crazy stuff. Like, I don't know, but you gotta. Sayoko is the new thing, I guess. We then got on to Chanyota and Arina Yamanaka beating Minami Yuki and Nagisa Tachibana in just under 10 minutes. This was kind of a showcase for Yota and Arina. I imagine they're going to challenge for the Twin Star soon. And so they just kind of got to show off sick tag moves, which were indeed sick. The other team didn't really bring a lot to the table, but, I like both Yuki and Tachibana. So
I think it was nearly the best tag team match in the show.
Okay, wow. You that big a fan of Yota and Arina, or?
Well, no, I think they did well. Yota and Arina did cool stuff. I think they work well as a tag team. I'm still just banging for them and Mai to start a faction, because you have everything. Like, you have literally a 4-woman stable pretty much set up with Mai, Chanoda, Irina, and Nao. And I just don't do it. And it's buffling, and it annoys me. On the other side, I think Yuki and Nagisa as a tag team, if that is the level we are getting now, the character from these two, I'm more than happy. Like, a year ago, this would have been a match of the year contender level for them. For what they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuki is a lot more solid.
Yeah, Yuki has been getting really solid. Surprisingly, considering where she was at the beginning.
Well, they train enough. They get reps.
That's true.
Oh boy. Yeah, that was a fun tag. Let's hope Yota and Arina do challenge. I think they could have a good match with Dark as well.
Yeah, I'm not betting on that, to be honest.
So don't crush my dreams. Nagisa Nozaki and Rea Seto beat Kazuna Tanaka and Megaton in 10 minutes. Yeah, I mean, like, it was okay. The comeback was neat. Like, Megaton actually hit the super press, and I was like, whoa. And then it got kicked out of anyway. But, the heels were heels, and Kazuna is in limbo, and Megaton is fun.
Do you think Megaton is going to hit the God-style Power Driver?
No.
Is that her new move that she's going to tease for like 6 months and never
I
going
hope
to
so,
hit?
but she has to win when she does it. But I don't know if she will.
Who would she pin on the roster? And why is it Kazuna?
Yeah. That or Hummingbird or something. They don't give a damn about Bird.
One thing, we need to get Nagisa away from Megaton. We have seen that exact same bit like 25 times now.
Yeah, Nozaki's really been coasting as well lately, which is not helpful. But they also
I thought she's going to challenge Yuzuki based on everything they have set up with Darkness Revolution, but they just decided to go with someone else, so they said.
Yeah. I don't know. But that was a match, it happened. We then got to Mai Sakurai beating Nao Ishikawa in 11.5 minutes. Not even afraid to say this is the best match on the show. The storyline going into this, I thought, was fantastic. Like the promos were good. They were, saying all the right stuff on Twitter. They made it really feel like they had a strong desire to win to prove a point, which not a lot of people in this promotion ever do. And then when you just immediately start the match with Mai trying to like kick the shit out of Nao Ishikawa, and they escalated to the slaps, and they just kept that physicality throughout the entire match. Like it was great. It was really interesting. It was like far and away the most interesting Now match in a long time. And Mai Sakurai, if she keeps this up, V0 Miku, I don't give a damn. If Mai Sakurai is gonna do this, V0 that shit for the damn belt. But no, she's kicking ass right now, and she's bringing something that not a lot of people are. Like there's very little desire to win on show across the board lately. But Mai Sakurai has been bringing it in spades, and it is very much appreciated because it's really only her and like Sari that do it now.
Yes, and I think it's cool that finally one of the 10,000 stories that Now is trying to pitch on screen is finally paying off. And I think it was worth it, giving them this kind of match. And it made me like think, okay, someone backstage, and it was like Mai herself, was like, I want to face Now and want to do something for her. Because that mission that Mai was on in this match felt like, I want to help Now to get out of the hole that she's in right now. Which is, I don't know how to describe it. Is it already the Rossi jail?
I don't know. I think he's just incompetent and old.
Yeah, that anyway. But but even then, he tries to push like 90% of the roster, except for Hummingbird, Now, Kizuna. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
don't know.
that match was like legitimately maybe the best mid-card match that Marigold ever had outside of the GP. Like outside of
Yeah.
GP and pay-per-views, because there's like
Okay. Yeah.
Seri versus Hashimoto or something like that.
Yeah, no, I haven't
They
agreed
just
on.
went insane from the very beginning. Now just hit her with a German suplex like 2 seconds in or something. And it
Yes.
was like,
Oh, her German was
I
nuts.
was like, okay, that is it. That we are finally here, and that is exactly what Marigold and their shows need. Because we always have good matches on top, but like fourth to bottom or like fourth to top, such a match, that intensity, those kind of slaps, headbutts, everything, the STF at the end, which will obviously set up the finish for the Red Belt match on January 3rd.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was for that what it was, like perfect.
Yeah.
Like literally can't get better. Like there was like nothing I would say they would change here. Nothing I would say. Well, maybe it could have gone a bit longer, to be honest. Which is
Possibly,
insane.
yeah. Take time off that Twin Star match, bro. Like
Oh
give
yeah,
it
the
to them.
Twister man. I don't know what they were on. It was great. I thought it was legitimately just great. That is the biggest compliment you could give. I'm not hoping that Now is doing more stuff in the future, but I think this is the kind of outing where it might not be Rossi, but it might be just Mai sits there and sees it and it's like, okay, maybe not now we can do something there.
Yeah.
Like if you have Mai behind you and Mayu, even though she was obviously not in the match, but she likely watched the match. I would at least assume so.
Mm.
Maybe we can start something there.
I hope so.
It doesn't need to be a big push, but
I know I've kind of been pigeonholed as like the Naosh cow shooter, and I get it, but like you saw what she did with this match and how she made it matter when it really had no business to. Like her and Mai Sakurai really made people give a shit about the match. And I think now has the ability to do that a lot more. And I said this when Julia left, like this was going to be a big problem for Marigold as people yeah, and especially when Sari was kind of finishing up, it was like, how are you going to get people to give a shit about your matches? Because Utami isn't really that kind of wrestler. Mayu, to an extent, isn't either, but she's Mayu, so she kind of gets away with it. But like, you need somebody who's going to stir the pot and constantly bring something that makes people pay attention. And I feel like now Ishikawa is one of the few on the roster who I can see doing that. And that's why I want more for her. Not that she has to be like the winning all the time and has to win the red belt, but if she was just important and in feuds and allowed to like elevate herself and her opponents, it would help Marigold a lot. And this was a big example, you know. And I give a lot of credit to Mai Sakurai. Obviously, I mean, she, you know, the evidence is that she brought a lot of this to the Yuzuki match because Yuzuki hasn't really had a lot of that since. And that was a very well received match as well. So, you know, Mai Sakurai doing great work, but definitely I think now deserves her share of praise for what she was able to bring to it as well. So I just hope they use it.
I just feel like you're looking at this Mai Sakurai. Ever like shortly before the big match against Yuzuki, and now I feel like she has even made another step, and it's scary. We are reaching the point where it's kind of getting scary.
Oh yeah, if I move Tommy or Mayu, I am shaken
Because
because like she is gonna lap them.
not only that, but she is the kind of wrestler that just is the most Rossi-ism, like what Rossi wants from his storytelling. And it's just do your thing. I'm booking the match, figure something out. And she's great at it. Well, she had, of course, we have mentioned like on this podcast and on Twitter and everything like 10,000 times. She is one of the rare wrestlers that have studied under Julia and Tam, who are like the masters in that. And you're seeing that here. We will see that in her next feud, and I'm sure after that she will likely do some tag stuff. Like she'll definitely get the tag belts. I wouldn't be surprised if she just wins every belt in the company, to be honest, except for the obvious one, which you can't reach.
Superfly.
Superfly. Even though I think she's announced at like 56.
Probably.
So technically she can, but let's stay realistic. She's above that.
Yeah, she won't do it anyway.
She's someone that Marigold should be very happy to have because she can fill every gap that they have on every single spot on the card. And she's someone that they just should go all in behind. The more I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, if she keeps that level up, we need to talk about a Doomstar.
Yeah.
We need to.
It's good to have though.
Yeah, I mean, better than just having Mai.
Now our next match was for the Marigold Superfly Championship. Mayu Iwatani beat CoCo in just under 9 minutes. This is a very good match. I thought, you know, I think CoCo has her flaws, but I think going 9 minutes just kind of hid a lot of them because I think once things go off track, I think she struggles a little, which is fine. She's like 15. Like they just had a very good Mayu in Marigold match where she does her hits, she beats down on her opponent, she gives them the room to kind of showcase what they can do, and she puts them away with the dragon. And so like CoCo got to do her high flying offense and got to show off, but this was still ultimately the Mayu will beat you and Mayu beats everybody show.
Yeah, and unlike other matches against more established opponents, I think the Yuzuki one in the Yoyogi was a bit too much. This one here, it was totally fine because it's CoCo. She's a rookie. She's 50 years old. She shouldn't get much offense on Mayu. Mayu deciding to finish her with like the normal dragon suplex was like a great call. I don't think CoCo it sounds stupid, but I don't think CoCo like deserves the moonsault yet. Not even the two-step dragon. So just going with the normal dragon leaves stuff open for the future because if CoCo isn't getting signed, then Rossi's just old. Like not only old, but like he should give up the company if he doesn't sign CoCo once he can.
Yeah, I think he will. I just
no, it's just a matter of likely waiting till she is a certain age. Yeah. I don't think they will sign a 50-year-old. I think it just comes off as weird. And
well,
I think Rossi,
she's like wrestling with her family thing. I'm sure there's like a respect element there of not wanting to take her away from them without their, you know, permission.
Maybe she has signed some kind of pre-agreement.
Possibly, yeah. But you know, I thought this was a good showcase of what she can do without asking too much of her. You know, people obviously wouldn't be watching like the Hummingbird tags where she was going longer and some of her weaknesses did show through. So for a lot of people, this would be their first experience of her, and they kind of kept it to just what she can do. I think is pretty smart.
Yeah,
Um,
and she
yeah,
looked impressed doing so. Like the tope, even though she needed to use her
yeah,
arms because she's like very small and everything is
mm,
like impressive still for that age. Like how many, especially Joshi wrestlers, can jump a tope con hero, and how many can do that at the age of 15? And Mayu mentioned that in a post-match comment, I think. Like CoCo was born like 5 months or so
oh my
before
god,
Mayu started
that's
wrestling.
insane.
It's exactly her birth date is on September 28th. Mayu debuted at the end of January
Yeah,
2011. So it's 3 months.
crazy.
It's impressive. And she was
Yeah.
meant to main event Korakuen. It
Yes.
wasn't child labor.
Yeah, she had to go home by 8 o'clock. I was watching it because they came out for this one about 7:30 Japan time, and then they were out of there to do the post match stuff. So it was
Oh,
pretty funny.
that's funny, to be
Yeah,
fair.
how did they not like know that would be a problem until they got there? Because this was announced as the main event. Like this was advertised as the main event right until the show started. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that because I'm pretty sure that Rena has wrestled past 8 p.m.
I don't fully know.
before.
I would have thought that show started earlier. So I know the one you're talking about, but I think it was an early start. But mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I was in school.
okay,
I remember stuff. I was in school because it was in my Hime defense, and I was checking
that's
it
hilarious.
on my break who was winning the match because I thought for some reason that
Yeah,
Michael might just lose.
yeah.
They did not. When was it? I can find the date here. It was February
Oh wow.
21st,
Okay.
2022. Mai Hime defeats Rina
Yeah,
Raka
artist match,
Starlight in
wasn't
19
it?
minutes. Below was Yuri Tekla versus Akane Fushita and Risa
Dear
Serra in a
Lord.
20-minute time no draw.
What a world we were living.
On the same show,
Oh, that's
Miyu
cool.
Amasaki appeared for the first time.
Oh, um,
Yeah, so there's that.
who?
And Starlight Kid challenged Kairi.
Oh, Kyrie. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kairi to the match of
Very.
Ryukoku. Yeah.
They put
What
a
a weird time.
full like PR campaign behind CoCo after this. Like everybody was talking about how cool she is. So, and
Mhm.
she was like, "Hey, I want to wrestle Mayu again, someday." So they are very much in. They really like CoCo, and like Mayu was putting her over, and Rossi was putting her over. So somebody who will eventually do big things in this promotion. Um,
And she is a Rossi
Big time.
wrestler.
She looks
Like,
good.
not from a Joshi standpoint, but if there's one thing Rossi loves more than Joshi wrestling, it's is
Yeah.
Mexican lucha libre.
I mean, didn't he make Ayako Hamada his first like big creation of Arjon? So he's into it.
Yeah. He has like all the Mexican
Yeah.
guys on his shows in the
Oh shit, yeah, yeah.
2010s,
There
I
was a
believe.
lucha thing at one point as well, I think.
Yeah, thing on his birthday show or
Yeah,
something.
something like that. Mayu then afterwards as well challenged Hummingbird for the Superfly. So Hummingbird did not challenge Mayu. It was like a reverse challenge. Mayu wants to face Hummingbird. And they made that
Are we sure he's just not farming defenses?
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think it would be defense record if she beats well, when she beats Hummingbird.
Probably, yeah. Might be racking those up. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so we thought this was for Sapporo, but it might be for one of the Face shows in December because they set up another match for Sapporo.
They
And
normally should have one in December, but I don't
yeah, I
know.
think they're running it twice, but one of those is probably the Rookie of the Year stuff. So
Yeah, the second one is the New Year's one, where
yeah,
we'll likely have the Rumble
Rookie
again.
tourney.
That last year Priscilla one, and the Rookie of the Year tournament should be interesting. It will likely be a Yuka versus Seri
Yeah,
final, so there's
for
that.
sure.
I can look at the date. It's
It's like the 12th or 13th, I
December
thought. Oh,
10th.
the 10th. Yeah.
December
Okay, I was
10th.
close. Yeah, that's probably Mayu
Think.
versus Coke or Mayu versus Hummingbird is on that one.
It's the show after. There are two support shows?
Oh, maybe it'll be in Sapporo then.
What?
Yeah.
It's a double header.
Right. Because for people
Like
who are new,
it's a morning and evening show.
right. See, for the people who are new, the Sapporo shows are, I'm pretty sure, paid shows. It's like Ezigen pays them to run there, and so they pay them for title matches. So that's why they run title matches in Sapporo randomly. So they probably will actually do Mayu Hummingbird there and the UN title match that they set up. So that's probably it. And then,
Yeah, it's either December 6th or 10th.
okay.
One of them.
All right. We then got on to the Twin Star Championship match. Chiaki and Misa Matsui beat Seri Yamaoka and Victoria Yuzuki in 19.5 minutes. I really thought Chiaki would win because Yuzuki pinned Matsui recently and Chiaki's getting wins on house shows. But then I forgot the cardinal rule that we must 50-50 for it. Because, why would I pay attention to Chiaki gaining momentum when you could just 50-50? And I thought the match was good, but went too long. And I feel like they should have ended it after the interference with the chair stuff. I feel like doing 2 Super Cena kickouts just for Yuzuki to lose anyway was a little bit overkill. And I would have rather they just did the angle and was like, oh, she got cheated out of the titles and she should be angry. So like I thought some of the work was good, but I definitely think the finishing stretch was just a little bit too much.
Yeah, it felt like to me that they are trying to kind of go back to where the Twin Star belts were at the beginning of the year with the match length. Like these sub 20-minute matches at Korakuen that are just well wrestled. I just don't think, and that's nothing against Chiaki. I think Chiaki did actually quite fine there. The issue was more just overall the match layout rather than a specific talent in it. I just don't think that you need 20 minutes between those teams. Like 15 would have been totally fine. Would have worked to everyone's strength, and you would have a cool finish. Like give them 3 minutes less, and give Mai 3 minutes more and a promo afterwards. Like that's much easier to do that. But I guess they want to really show, okay, Misa might not be a successful singles wrestler so far, but they are clearly positioning her in a role where she has been feuding with Yuzuki, which is a promising role because if you remember, Misa's turn started, or like she was carried out by Chiaki and Nosaki in the face show at the beginning of the year where she lost to Yuzuki for the Superfly belt. And they're now somewhat going back for it for a belt above that, which is kind of cool. I wish it was a face. I'm unsure if Sapporo is going to be really interested into that. But money is money.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess I just don't love Matsui as the designated Sapporo loser. Like it's weird because sometimes I think they like her. Like she pinned Nozaki on the final day of the
think they
GP.
like her, but I feel like they don't like her as much as they like others.
Yeah. Because that's a big Rossi problem where he'll be like, okay, this wrestler is cool, but also, have you seen this random tall idol? That is Rossi to a T.
Even then, I mean, we will talk about Chika. He likes Chika, but
yeah,
his Chika booking is like not insane.
That's true.
He only really is with that with obviously the main eventers, but aside of that, it's like Seri, Yuzuki. I would say to some degree Koki, even though she wasn't allowed to pin Utami.
That's true.
But aside of that, it's like everyone can beat everyone on a good day. Where do you think are the whole Darkness Revolution stuff is heading? Because they are somewhat stuck with Yuzuki, but also have the tag belts.
Well, they're fully transitional tag champs. Like they're just gonna lose them.
Well, yeah, but
Tower.
Koki first of all needs to come back.
She will.
And what is like the direction for January 3rd? Like, do they have one?
That might be it.
But You
Or it's
can say for both
Yoda and
belts.
Arena.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
They would be fine because you're going like fourth from the top. Because we actually forgot to mention it, but Mayu and
Oh yeah.
Iroha was made official for the the Ota Award show. So you're gonna have award. You're gonna have the GHC. You're gonna have the world title. Probably gonna have a UN title. So the Twin Star would be fourth from the top.
No,
But then you're assuming Seri would have a match.
I assume Seri versus Sari is happening on the show.
Yeah, so you're likely going
And
fifth
that's
from the top. So I think Arena and Chanyoda could fill in for Twin Tower if they
yeah,
needed
that's
to.
fine. And Yuan? Is it Nozaki?
For Yuzuki?
Yes.
I don't know. There's nobody really being heated up in a suitable
There's
manner.
well, the issue is if we are looking at the ones that defeated her in the Dreamstar, it's Koki.
Yeah.
And she's not going to
Now
be
they
in the
could
white belt spot by
do
then.
Kazuna. They could do her challenging Kazuna and like
Yeah, Kisuna is going to be a Kurikan after, I
possibly.
think. Same for I would imagine that Shino gets a shot because they are insane.
Yeah, maybe it's Syoko. I know that's
Oh,
insane, but
Jesus
like
Christ.
you're gonna have the protection of two other big matches, so it might just be Syoko, and they try to make her work. I mean, let's like First Dream last this year had a Raw Koki versus Chika match. They will take risks. Rossi, I can complain about him a lot. He will take his risks. You know, that's one thing.
I mean, he went like 25 minutes
Yeah,
with Mirai and Seri in the
like
opener, so there's
there's
that.
a definite
Yeah,
chance that
you
it's
are
Syoko,
correct.
but I truly don't know. Like, there's nobody
Utami?
obvious. Uh, maybe. And
Utami come back but well, Yusuke already defeated her, but he can just turn it back.
possibly, yeah.
It's an outside of feels too big. Like they don't give away outside of the title shot for top two if it's not
Yeah,
three. And three's not
like with
UN.
Yuzuki, you're looking at like Maria, Rico, maybe. But I don't want to do
Oh,
Rico
Jesus Christ.
again.
Yeah,
So yeah,
no, I'm good. Yeah, I think you're right, and it's going to
yeah.
be
No, it might be
Syoko.
Shozuki if she's healthy,
Because
but
oh yeah, I would like I don't know, Shizuki's booking pre-industry was like weird.
yeah, but that's how Rossi works sometimes. So I don't know. But they
Maybe.
are repeating
Maybe no.
another match from First Stream this year, so they might just repeat two of them.
Oh,
So
we can do a
yeah,
three-peat.
sure. Let's get Mariah in. Let's get Mariah back.
I was looking at Utami's
Oh right,
three-peat.
no, we're not wasting. Sorry, like that.
And then build to Mayu, Seri
Hell
from
yeah,
there.
actually, maybe. I don't know, but Twin Stars, okay match, goodish. Yeah, Seri's in a weird spot lately. I don't know if people have deeped it. She's kind of just there, but then Rossi having somebody just there means
Is
they're gonna
she
win the red belt in like 4 months.
Seri? Yeah. The issue with her is like she's still treated as a rookie from the results, but also isn't.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like weird. Like she lost 3 big matches the past month with Mayu, Hashimoto, now the Twin Star title match, and she has Senka coming up on 28th.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah. They set it up in the backstage comments.
Weird. Yeah, they're running Seri
So
versus Senka 1, which was
yeah.
well, it was originally planned to happen in FACE in the Dreamstar, where we had the fantastic Yuzuki versus Rea match. Now it's happening in Marvelous. Kind of surprising.
Yep. Well, I suppose Marvelous deserves it for making Senka interesting, but also I guess they are hoping that Iroha is losing the exchange or
Well,
something. I
maybe
don't
it
know.
was always originally planned, to be fair. Maybe it was always like Seri
Possibly. Yeah.
wins the first one in the GP, Senka the second one in Marvelous.
I think I assume Senka would win the GP one.
Yeah, maybe the other way
I don't know.
around. Maybe they're just timing draw this, to be fair. Doesn't matter.
Possible, yeah.
Um,
But yeah, they set up Yuzuki versus Matsui and Seri versus Senka after this. So we did have a newsworthy day, in fairness. Before getting on to the main event. So Miku Aono and Chika Goto. Miku beats Chika in just under 15 minutes in a non-title match. Chika tried to get it changed to a title match beforehand, and Rossi said no, and then she simply got her ass beat. I quite like the direction this ended up taking. I think Chika being like, I want this title match, I am the mood setter, I am the spirit of Marigold, that kind of stuff is very strong. But I don't know, just going like, you can talk about being the mood setter. I had to climb here, and I'm not devaluing my belt by letting you challenge. You lost. Like, you couldn't beat Seri. You're not worthy of challenging for this belt. And I like that. Like, I remember I praised Utami for that with the Mirai thing, where she was like, "You lost the number one contenders match. I'm not defending against you." But obviously, Utami ended up just giving in and giving Mirai the match anyway. So I much prefer,
Yeah, because
yeah.
she got beaten
And
in a
I
preview,
complained about that
at
already
least.
months ago. But I like that this time it was just Iono being like, "You are not worth devaluing the belt," and then she just beats her. I think that is fantastic. She should have been meaner. I wish she had gone and been like, "You are no mood setter. If you're in a mood, it's depressed. Go cry, bitch." Like, I wanted her to go full
I
annoying
mean,
mean bitch Momo Watanabe. That was my ideal for this.
I, I think she said something, and I quote, "It's not my opinion." I think she said something like, "The only thing you gained was like
Oh,
weight
of
or
course, yeah.
something."
No, Joshi wrestlers love their fat shaming.
Yeah, because like to be fair, to give Aono that, like Gochika made a huge deal out of, okay, I gained a lot of weight and
Ah, right,
muscles
okay.
and everything, like
Not so
in
bad.
her past few months. That's like one of the Gochika go-tos in post-match
Okay.
promos.
But yeah, I did like the overall direction that this took, where Iono essentially was like, "No, you are not worthy of the belt," and I quite like that as a champion. Like, if you're gonna defend it once every 2 or 3 months, I would much prefer this the thing where she is like, "No, actually, this belt is too valuable," as opposed to Utami, where people just wouldn't challenge you for 2 months. I like this a lot better.
Yeah, and I think the only issue with that is, and there's nothing really Gochika can go, like it's not, she hasn't booked this. The issue is Aono is right, and the crowd realized that. There were not many, but there were like some people in the crowd that were actively at the beginning when Chika Goto was asking for the red belt match, was like actively against it vocally, and you were hearing one guy, one really weird old guy, likely booing. I was like, okay. It at least tells you, okay, Marigold fans are not dumb and they're just taking it, because they just could have made a red belt match anyway and just
Yeah.
say, hope the crowd reacts to it in a good way, and because they are Jones, how you would say in American
Yeah.
wrestling terms. But no, they are not. They saw the booking, like the performance. Chika Goto said, "No, you're not ready yet. Show us something." And then Chika Goto went out there and tried to show something. I think she achieved that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I quite like it. I mean, that is Chika Goto's kind of spot at the moment. She can lose, and it will kind of continue snowballing because she is so good and so emotive that it'll eventually pay off. At least I hope so. Or I will
Oh,
box Rossi again.
she's
Like, we're going 12 rounds. And
obviously getting something.
yeah, like, I will fight the hat off his head. But I do think this is a win-win, and the match itself was pretty good. I loved the start with Chica starting strong and Iona just kicking her in the face. Like, hell yeah. Like, hell yeah. Where's this been? And Iona, I think she gets a lot of crap from some people, but I think this is a real, like, subtle, like, air of arrogance to a lot of what she does. Like, even the way she was pinning Goto towards the end of the match, just like sitting on her, not even going for proper pins, just sitting on her, like staring at hard cam. Like, that is dickhead behavior in its entirety. And so I thought they both did pretty well. Um, and I liked the story that they ended up going with. And I think this is a very successful first month for the Iono's title reign. And this is I can't really complain. We're getting stuff. We're getting substance. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and I would say this is exactly, and I'm not going to say this to shit on Utami, but it is exactly what we kind of have asked for from Utami all the time. Be a little
Yeah.
bit more bitchy. Just show, okay, you are the ace, but the ace doesn't mean you need to be a bland babyface. It just means you need to be the face of the company. and you can't be that,
Mm-hmm.
which in my opinion Aono is right now, even without being the baby face everyone needs to cheer for me. She's just saying, I'm the champion, challenge me, fight me. And it works perfectly.
Yeah.
I think it works, well, maybe not as good as Seri, because Seri has also the outside fact to it, but it feels
Yeah. Sorry, is
it
like best in
feels
the world.
more fitting to the product and the character of everyone involved. Meanwhile, like Seri just was, okay, I'm shitting on you. You can't
Yeah.
fight back because I'm not giving you the chance to fight back, neither in the ring but also in the promos. Meanwhile, Aono, at least, it feels like even if she has this arrogant side to her as a character, it feels like it's limited to a way where the babyface here, Chika Goto, doesn't look bad. And I think that is a
Yeah.
very good achievement from her, because Chika Goto lost. She lost pretty much every important match that she had in her singles career in Marigold. And I would
Mm-hmm.
still say with every loss, she gained something.
Yeah.
And that is the most important part. Well, we need to say, to be fair, that was likely never planned. And
Yes.
she was likely here defending her tag belts against whoever the hell they were fighting. Like, to be fair, likely Rossi had like no idea how to post
Yeah,
them
that's true.
all. I think Chika Goto is on a way where she is just becoming so good from a character standpoint that you just can't overlook her as a booker.
Yeah.
And it is an achievement that helped a lot of Joshi talents. Well, Tam, I wouldn't compare her yet to Tam, because Tam also had a very good in-ring career before that, with the Dreams, with her 2019 run, where she won the tag league and had the fantastic match against Reese and everything. But it came to the point at one point, like in 2020, where Tam's presence and character development was so good that you just needed to push her over actively better informed wrestlers. Watch Nabe as an example. And I think in less extent, I'm not saying she will become the next Tam Nakano, but I think less extent, I don't think it's impossible that Chika Goto is like going to have a better next 365 days than some talents we would expect Rossi to push, including Seri.
Yeah, well, she's earned it. I mean, as I said, I think the Sari match. After that, I was like, just have her beat Sari for a belt someday. Like, just give Sari the UN, have Goto win it off of Sari. Like, that's all
And
you need. I'll be so happy.
I'm disappointed they never ran the singles against Iroha for the
Yeah,
GHC.
that was a real missed opportunity. Same with Iono or Roja. They just never did it.
That Korakuen match was like
Yeah,
part of the
that was
gauntlet. That
awesome.
was insane.
Like we
It
kind of said
was
it earlier, like there's very few people in Marigold grabbing you by the scruff and making you care, and I think Goto is one of the people who does that. And I don't think Miku Aono is a great promo or anything, but I think Chika Goto forced her to be a great promo in the lead up to this, which is an exceptional ability. And so I feel like you have to factor Chika Goto into the future of this promotion if she's going to be one of the people talking people into seats, you know? And look, they did everything they could have. This could have been an absolute bomb and a stupid story and like a fine match, but they both made it work, and I think that deserves a lot of credit.
It's only the English social media. I have not checked Japanese mark Twitter because I don't feel like anything they say towards Marigold and Stardom is any kind of fair.
Yeah.
If we are like just looking at what our friends or like people on Discords or on Twitter talked about coming into the show, it was always Go Chika.
Yeah.
It was Go Chika, Go Chika, Go Chika. Maybe at some point it was Now.
And Now and Mai kind of won some over.
Yeah. And it is a show with Mayu facing a super rookie and the young goats, whatever the hell they will be called in the future, teaming together to challenge for the tag belts.
Yeah.
So like, Chika did a lot right in her career, and that is insane considering where she was
Big
a
time.
year ago to make that. Like, didn't she have like 2 points last year in the GP? Now she has
Yeah,
7 and a Korakuen Hall main event against the Red Belt champion. That's like impressive.
very. And Mai Sakurai came out after this one to challenge Miku Aono for first stream. So we have 2 title matches set already for first stream on January 3rd. I do again have my doubts about announcing matches 6 weeks in advance. I think it really restricts a lot of what Aono, Mai, and Mayu can do. But I guess they're hoping that they can lean on the Superfly, the Twin Star, and the
Ma-
UN.
yeah, Mai has at least another belt where she can be busy. We are now, I wouldn't say stuck. I think stuck sounds wrong. Well, maybe, but like 6 weeks of Mai and Aono tag matches is like as good as the chemistry is like a lot.
Don't need it for sure. Like maybe you can get a and they're obviously going to book a preview tag for the Korakuen next month. Like that's going to be one of the big matches. But if you got Iroha in to team with Mai or Iono, I think against Mayu and the other one, I think that would be a perfect.
I think they will troll us. I think it will be Seri Mayu versus Senka.
Possibly, but I feel like if you
Iroha.
could get Iono and Iroha in the ring and doing exchanges, I think that would be a worthy like main event preview tag if that's what they wanted to do for the Korakuen. I'm just throwing that out there.
I wanted to originally pitch Mio and Iroha teaming, but then I forgot that Mio is like not alive anymore in Marigold kayfabe, so I needed to go with Senka. It made more sense. Yeah, they will definitely find something. Well, to be fair, it doesn't matter too much for me personally what they are doing in like Iwate or something, or in like Nara or wherever. I think the important ones are Shinjuku FACE, the Hokkaido shows, maybe Osaka and Korakuen. I'm just hoping they do something good with the angle that they have, because they have a big story with Mai and Miku in the main event.
Yeah.
It's also maybe the first real test of both as drawing power for the drawing power. A very much, I would say, week full of wrestling way, like a lot of Joshi. Well, not only Joshi, but like Pro Joshi have a lot of shows. They are, I would say, lucky that Stardom is running Shinjuku FACE.
Yes, big time.
They're like very lucky Stardom is not running like a 2K venue like they did this year. So they should profit off that, mixed with I would say a match between Iroha and Mayu that's not going to reach their rivalry in 2020, but a match that has been teased for a long time, and Iroha has been protected really well so far in Marigold. Has been one of the focal points. I think they will do well. I don't know how well, but they should do well. I maybe around the same number they had last year.
All right. Well, let's hope so.
One thing, do you think Utami's back for the show? I think if there's any show she's coming at, then this
for
is
sure.
one.
I imagine she's back by the Korakuen. Maybe I'm too optimistic. So that was that show. That was the Korakuen. A good time was had by all ultimately, and we have 3 shows for Marigold to preview. But there's not really much happening, and there is.
There's
It
a
won't
really cool
translate to
tweet
English, so I don't know where this is. But on the 22nd of November, we have Kazuna Tanaka versus Hummingbird, Yuka Yamazaki versus Megaton, Seri versus Yuki Minami versus Nagisa Tachibana, Miku Aono and Nao Ishikawa versus Mai Sakurai and Chika Goto, which is kind of playing into a lot of the recent feuds. And the main event is Mayu, Yuzuki, and Komomo versus Chiaki, Misa, and Rea Seto. So
it's in Morioka, Iwate.
Yes, okay.
Big chance Mirai is backstage.
Probably. Like you kind of need the top 2 to deliver there, but I think the 3-way could be fun as well.
I think the opener is somewhat interesting to see how Hummingbird is going to look when she's forced to lock in to build up the
Yeah,
Mayu match.
true.
And the 2v2 with the red belt preview match and Gochika and now in there is like peak after the Korakuen.
On the 23rd, then in Hamanasu, it says. I don't know. Hummingbird versus Rea Seto opens, and what could be a very intriguing match there. They're both quite technical. Chika Goto, Nao Ishikawa, and Yuki Yamazaki are on a three-way in the second match on the card. Kazuna Tanaka continues to be in limbo as she takes on Nagisa Tachibana in a random singles. You would hope
Is she winning that?
She hopes. If she doesn't, that would be insane. Mayu Iwatani and Kamomo Manami beat Misamatsui and Chiaki, which could be very interesting. And the main event is Miku Aono, Seri Yamaoka, and Megaton versus Mai Sakurai, Victoria Yuzuki, and Minami Yuki. Yeah.
I think the opener is very interesting from a resource standpoint.
Yeah. It's probably the most interesting.
Ria's not losing much to these geeks.
She'll probably just like tap her out or something.
That's either a match that goes like 6 minutes or like 13.
Yeah, honestly. On the 24th, then in Kazuno.
Yeah, Akita. This is in Akita somewhere.
All right. We open with Nagisa Tachibana versus Yuki Yamazaki, which is pretty fun. The never-ending feud, Nao Ishikawa versus Hummingbird.
How many matches did they have against each other? It feels like 25. But
this reminds me of when like Kofi Kingston used to wrestle the same guy like 60 times a year in WWE. Like him and The Miz would have like 20 US title matches and shit. This is the same.
It's match number 4, but it's the third match in the past 6 weeks. Singles, that is. If we include trios matches, we had like another 6 or so. Yeah.
Minami Yuki takes on Megaton. Miku Aono and Komo Minami take on Mai Sakurai and Chika Goto, which is another fun-looking preview tag. And then Mayu, Yuzuki, and Seri take on Chiaki, Misamatsui, and Rea Seto in the main event. Because we're still doing previews for the UN title match. These cards look rough. I don't know what changed. Like Marigold had a pretty solid top-to-bottom card structure going, but lately it's just not working. And I know Utami's gone, and I know they've lost Mirai.
You notice when like John Yada and Irina's are not on the tours.
Like I know
Penguin gone.
Oh yeah, Syoko's not on these.
Okay, explains a lot.
I just don't know. It's so
Shows
like
bad.
Utami cannot have been the glue holding this entire thing together. Like I know I'm mean to her, but like I don't know. Maybe it's her and Mirai being gone, and no Naho anymore. No Shino. That is 4, I think, good wrestlers gone.
Yeah, it's definitely because we are in the north of Japan that like some regulars are just not there. Like the card would look oh, it's true. Where is she? Yeah. It's definitely a few names missing. Yeah, it will be.
I don't know. They gotta get people back, I guess. Just get back on form. But you know what? For the foreseeable, we're gonna be having 2 match cards, which is fine. I'm gonna subject Velke to all of those next week, assuming he doesn't run away. So that is all for this week's show. Unless you have any closing remarks.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything interesting. Oh yeah, watch Seri versus Hashimoto.
Yes, I agree.
That was insane. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, Peps. Hopefully you aren't needed because Dylan will be back, which would be preferable because I don't like having this rotating door of guests. It's not my forte. But thank you for helping us out for this week. You know, I'm sure most people listening to this know you anyway, but you do have your YouTube channel, where you talk about Joshi stuff, so they should check that out, right?
I think most of the people like me blocked.
Maybe. But yeah, you know, check out.
Yeah, people should check it out. I'm not that active because university is like annoying me, but I'm trying to do my 1 or 2 videos per month. I'm not Scott. I'm not insane.
Nobody is Scott, for better or for worse. Speaking of Scott, he might be on here in a few weeks' time if you guys like him. If you don't, then ignore that. But yeah, with that, it's time to close the show. If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide which even. I remember what Dylan says at this point.
Whatever Dylan says at this point, it's like Marigold. Passion.
Shine forever. I don't know. Passion, Ijo.
I
Bye.
Yujiro.